Hello, friends. Thank you very much for joining in. Hi, this is Ganesh Nayak. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career and become a better version of themselves. And I also help CFA and FRM students to clear the exam in the first attempt. And today I have with me one of my students. He has cleared the exam for CFA Level 1 in August 2021. And the results are just out. And he's going to share with us his experience, his journey, his challenges, his preparation methodology for clearing CFA Level 1. So for this, let us welcome Jenil. Thank you very much, Jenil, for joining in and putting your time to help us with your experience and your journey. Thank you very much for
Thank you
joining
so
in.
much, sir. Thank you for having me.
Perfect. So, Jenil, for the benefit of the audience, the first question that I generally ask all my guests is that now, when you decided to go for CFA Level 1, what was your status? What were you doing around that period of time?
So I was in my second year of college when I started your classes.
Okay.
And but I decided, like, from starting from 12th only, I had a subject interest in finance.
Okay.
So from the first year, I had decided that I want to give CFA, and in third year, in like August, I gave my CFA Level 1.
Okay, perfect. And when did you properly started your preparation? Which month? So for August exam, which month you actually start that? Okay, I'll start preparing for the content.
So actually, I started preparing in the month of November. Like for each book I'd gone through. So in the month of November, I started my preparation, actual preparation.
Okay. And when you started the preparation, did you felt any book which you realize, okay, this can be difficult for you because you have not gone through this book before, because of not having a background, or any particular book which you found easy at the start?
So the most difficult book which I found was ethics, because I had no idea, like the content, the standards which were included, I had no idea regarding it, and I haven't read earlier about it, about those standards anywhere else. So that was the most difficult area. But the most easy, I would say, was cons. So if you understand those concepts clearly and know how to use the calculator, then it will be very easy for you, the con section. So that was the most easy for me.
Okay. Now, when you started preparing, which book did you start first, and what was the order that you were following primarily?
So the first one was again cons, because if you understand those concepts and use the calculator, it will be helpful for other subjects also, like in equity. You will have to find out the valuation of equity, the value of the shares. Then in derivatives also, the price you will have to calculate. So the usage of calculator, it will help there. So first of all, I started with cons, and in the end, I left 3 books, which were ethics, cons, and economics. So because these were the most important, and they had a lot of weightage in our exam. So so that the concepts, they were fresh in my mind.
So you repeated again.
Okay. So I kept ethics at the end, FRA and economics.
Okay. Because you thought that those concepts you might know fresh in you before you go for the exam. Now, when you if you look at your entire preparation journey, how many times were you able to go through Swagger?
I went through the complete portion twice. So first time I completed it around February or mid-March, and then the second one was done by June or July, mid-July it was done, and then I had kept like 1.5 months for problem solving, like question banks, then mock exams, and also the last week I kept for the topics, some of the important topics that I had marked in the books, which I felt were important. So I marked those, and the last week I revised those.
Perfect. And you also solved our chapter-wise questions, right? So those chapter-wise questions, when were you able to complete those entire set for each chapter?
When I had done the first reading, when I completed my portion first, so that time I had done, and that time also I marked some of the wrong questions. Then I contacted you, like, what should I do to solve these questions? Then I went through again, like, for all those questions and solved it. So by mid-July again it was done.
Okay.
the wrong
Okay.
questions also, and the topics which I had gone wrong.
So for by mid of July, because your exam was in August around
August.
end. So mid of July, you were done with the 2 readings of the Schweizer book. You had solved the
Yes.
question bank, and on an average, the questions that were there for each chapter was 50, around 50 questions. So you were able to solve that entirely. You were able to go through the incorrect questions also, right? And
Yeah.
was there anything special that you did for dealing with FRA or economic? Because you said that you felt it difficult. So anything specific that you did for it?
So some of the concept was that I couldn't understand. So I watched your recorded lectures again and again. And if
Okay.
I had doubts, I contacted you. Then
Mhm.
I also prepared notes for, like, in FRA, you have US gap,
Mhm.
US gap and that. So I prepared notes for that, and those notes also helped me. So while solving the questions, it helped me a
Mhm.
lot.
Okay, okay, okay. And you did you create anything specific for the formulas, to remember the formulas or anything? Was there any
So I
from your side?
So I prepared a different sheet where I had
Mhm.
written all the formulas that were in cons, in FRA, everywhere. I prepared a different
Mhm.
sheet, and a day prior to the exam, I went through it again and again so that so that I could memorize those formulas.
Okay,
So
okay, okay, got it. And how many hours were you sitting on a daily basis? So when you started in the month of November, what was your daily preparation, and did you increase the number of hours and when?
So in November, apart from your lecture, I studied like 3 to 4 hours, like the concepts which you did in the class. I revised through that, and so I studied around 3 to 4 hours. But as the exam came, I prior to that, prior to the exam month, I studied for around 8 to 9 hours, and the breaks which I took were just for lunch,
Okay.
dinner. Otherwise, I was studying only.
So that
So
was
that was
primarily in the month of July, if I'm not wrong.
July, June, and June, mid June and July.
Mid-June
That
and
time,
July.
8 to 9 hours it was.
Perfect, perfect. And was there any fear in your mind? Because when you were about to go for the exam, you must have seen the results for May and July. So what was there in your mind?
The results, the passing rate came out to be 22%, and I know, like, I was like I was feared a lot. So my parents supported me. At the back of the mind, also it was there, but
Mhm.
I knew, I had confidence in myself, and I was backing my strengths, and it was so I cleared, and I was very calm under pressure, so I was able to clear my exam.
Okay, okay. Now, how many mocks you were able to solve before the exam?
uh, Around 7 8 mocks, the Schweizer mocks which were there, Schweizer paper, also the one which were the ones which you gave, and on the CFA website also there was one mock, so I
Right.
solved it. So around
Okay, so around six to seven
7 8.
mocks. And
Yeah.
consistently, when you were solving those mocks, what was the average score that you saw?
So the average score was around 75 to 80, which I scored in those mock exams.
Okay, okay. And you were confident by looking at that, okay, that exam is going to be good.
I was not that confident, but yes, I knew if I did the process very well, and if I have confidence in myself, I'll clear my exam. So that was
Okay,
all going through my
okay.
head.
And with respect to the exam day, okay, what happened in the first morning session? How did you tackle the CBT format, and how did you tackle the exam in the first
So
morning session?
the first morning session, it was a bit lengthy, so I didn't have time to cross check the all the questions.
Mhm.
So first of all, I solved all the questions which I knew, and
Okay.
I flagged those questions which I didn't know, so that I can give
Hmm.
more time to those questions.
Okay.
Then when I did the questions which I know, now I have more time to do those questions. So after that, I got more time to solve those questions, but it was a bit lengthy. So I would say that solving more mock paper would help others a lot.
Okay. And so this strategy primarily first looking at the questions that you picked up, you solved, and then you were worrying about the questions which you could not in the first part.
Yeah.
So when you completed your first morning session, what was going in your mind? Like you said, it was lengthy. What was there in your mind during that break?
No, I didn't think about that so much because now I had 6 more subjects left, which I had to do. So that was at the back of my mind the first morning session. And now at that break time also, I revised some of the concepts which I thought could come. So I revised those concepts and I gave the second session.
Second exam. The afternoon session, how was it? Was it as lengthy?
That was over. No, that was not at all lengthy. Now that I solved all the questions, I got time to cross-check all the questions also, and there was a bit of time remaining after second session also. So that was not lengthy.
So you found the afternoon session very easy?
Yeah, I found second session.
Okay. And when you came out of the exam, what was the thought process? I mean, what was your expectation from yourself in the sense of exam result?
So I was satisfied that my efforts, the efforts I had put in, I hope that it would give me results like it gave. So I never thought about that. Now that I have given the exam, there was a bit of pressure, but after that I was satisfied that I gave my exam very good.
Okay, perfect. And after the result of the exam, now when you talk to your friends, your family members, your college friends and all, because you're still in college, you're going to complete your third year now next year. So has there been any recognition from your professor, for your college and all of it with respect to your CFA level?
Some of my friends, they are November candidates, August candidates. They come and ask like, oh, what should we do? How should we prepare? Like, what did you do when there were 2 months left for your exam?
Right.
So they came and asked for my suggestions. Also, then my parents they were really happy for me, as was I.
Right.
So that was the recognition that I
perfect. And you're planning to go for the level 2 now in the next year, and I hope that you would clear that exam also in the first attempt, and you will also come for the interview after the exam is completed and the result is out for level 2, and I'm sure you will be able to join us then. And thank you very much for taking out time and sharing your experience about how you were able to clear the exam. What was the mindset that you had, the challenges kind of you faced, or primarily the journey that you had for the exam. So
thank you so much, sir.
This is definitely going to help the audience who's going to watch the video and prepare for the next exam coming in. Okay, so thank you very much for joining in, and thank you very much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.